in the next year. Well, let's stay with that story. For more on this, international human rights lawyer Arsalan Iftikhar joins me now from Washington, D.C. Thanks very much for your time. If I understand it correctly, it's a federal government responsibility to decide whether or not the Syrian refugees are brought into the country. So what legal grounds do the states have for refusing to take them?
Rob, they have absolutely none whatsoever. This is just a political posturing ploy by 24 Republican governors. Only one is a non-Republican, essentially trying to posture themselves during the Republican presidential primary campaign against both President Barack Obama and the Democratic Party. As you well know, and as anybody who knows the American constitutional legal system knows, based on the plenary powers in the Constitution and the Refugee Act of 1980, any decisions on refugees rest solely with the President of the United States. And so, again, you have these 24 Republican governors who really should be ashamed of themselves for using, tens of thousands of Syrian refugees as a political chess piece.
Just give us some context. To what extent are these views part of mainstream politics in the U.S.?
Well, in most Western societies today, Rob, there's a great deal of nativist, jingoistic politics that comes into play. A lot of these governors talk about, the security threat. What they don't understand is that every refugee who is granted admission into the United States has gone through already a rigorous background and counterterrorism security check for about 18 to 24 months in these refugee camps in squalid places, like Turkey and Syria. And so it's not like we're just handing out free tickets for everyone to come into the United States. They've already gone through a vetting process by the Department of Homeland Security and the State Department before they're ever allowed to be resettled here as refugees in America.
How big is the risk, do you think, that Syrians already settled in the U.S. are going to be stigmatized by this?
Well, I think that all immigrants are going to be stigmatized, Rob. I think what's important to keep in mind, and for your viewers to keep in mind, is that thousands of Syrian refugees have already been repatriated and resettled here in the United States since 2011, and there have been no arrests for any sort of terrorism-related crime. Again, this is just pandering to the lowest common denominator of American politics, and again, these Republican governors should be ashamed of themselves.
Arsalan Iftikhar is an international human rights lawyer. Thank you so much for your time.